Welcome to the podcast pre-show. We're coming at you here live from our studio, and our kids are still awake, and it has taken us some time to get to you for this episode, but we were so excited that we were able to make it all work. We hope that you were able to watch this, whether it's live or on the replay. And so, Blake, the podcast pre-show beginning.
Yes, this is when Mary and I are just sharing the podcast. We're getting things ready for the show, and we're trying to make sure that everybody is joining for the live show. But right before we start to actually record the podcast itself, as we always say, that this is a fly in the wall experience until we get to the small council. So we will obviously see your comments. We may address some if we're able to. The star of the show is here. She knows.
Dun, 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 dun.
She knows. So what's really most important, of course, is that you take the time to send us your comments in the threads, but also have conversations with each other, because your voices are what's most important, really, much more than ours. We just happen to have microphones in front of our faces. So please have those conversations. Please do comment. We will see them. We will address them if possible or if pertinent. And then when the small council comes, then we will obviously address those comments as well. So that's that.
Yes, and hi, Robin. We see Robin joining on, and Lumos, leave it alone. Hi, Brittany. Brittany's saying a little special hello to Lumos, because that's right, Lumos is here, and she is obsessed with something right here on the desk. So wish us luck between kids and cats and dogs. We've got them all. We've got them all.
It's a full house in Clan Larson. So
always is.
Oh man, never ends. It never ends.
All right.
So, all right, Marvin, are you ready to make a podcast?
I sure am.
All right, 10 seconds for
room tone.
Room tone. All right, here we go.
You never think of your father. His forbearance, his judiciousness, his dignity.
Fuck dignity. I want revenge. My father is dead.
He is. And we are the poorer for it. He was right about you.
He made me king.
Is that what you think?
Remove your badge, Sir Otto.
From Providence, Rhode Island, welcome to the House of the Dragon with Mary and Blake. It's a podcast dedicated to the House of the Dragon on HBO, so sit back, relax. Let's talk about fire and blood. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Mary Larson.
My name is Blake, and I really debated on what to play at the beginning of this episode,
Okay,
Mary.
there were a lot of good ones.
There were a lot of good ones, but this felt most apropos to me because Ser Criston Cole is now the Hand of the King, which to me...
How do you even put a pin on metal?
Yeah.
He's going to need a new outfit.
He's going to need some double-sided tape,
Yes.
some 3M.
A magnet.
Yeah, I thought that this was most apropos because this feels like the biggest change for what is happening and what is coming. A lot of things, I think, in this episode were kind of a reaction to what happened with Jaehaerys and Blood and Cheese, all of it. I get it. How can you not have a reactive episode? But this to me seems like, yeah, we're moving forward here. This is a thing that helps perpetuate the dance of the dragons, right? The real civil war, you know. So this feels like, okay, yep, what we're doing here makes most sense. So that's that, man.
All right.
What an episode. What an episode to follow up what I think was a pretty good premiere and move forward.
Love that. Well,
Yeah.
I agree. Well, we can't wait to delve into this episode. We wanted to remind you all, if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, that you can actually go to your favorite podcast app and hit that subscribe button. Hitting subscribe means a world of difference for us. It helps make sure that the podcast gets sent to your phone right away when the episodes come on out. And we, of course, want to thank our friends at jointhenerdclan.com. That's our group from our Patreon community who helps make sure that these podcasts and all the podcasts that we do are available for you worldwide. If you are not yet a member at jointhenerdclan.com, we would love for you to come on and be there. For as little as $2 a month, you get to keep the lights on, you get to help make sure that the podcasts keep coming on out, and we really appreciate you. So thank you so much. All right, let's get into the show.
Let's do it. All right, Marvin.
Yeah.
Mini plot recap. What do you got?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this episode takes place pretty much immediately following the death of the wee little prince, and we lock down the castle. We clean up sheets. Everybody's crabby. We have a funeral procession through the streets. Everyone's blaming Rhaenyra, and she's saying, I didn't do it. And everyone knows she didn't do it. Even Otto knows she didn't do it, but that don't matter because it makes for good fodder. They find who actually did do the murdering, blood, and they hung up all the rat catchers, and everything is getting very topsy-turvy. Daemon is out. He's crabby.
He's gone to Harrenhal.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of people feeling a lot of big things.
Lots of big feelings.
And Criston Cole, he's the worst, and he kills Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan 1 and Lindsay Lohan 2.
Oh no, he doesn't.
He
doesn't
gets
directly kill them. But
Erryk
he
and
gets credit.
Arryk killed.
Yes.
Okay,
When he said Lindsay Lohan, I'm like, wait, what the hell do you mean?
Parent Trap. But
Yeah.
they're like actually two different actors. It's
Yeah,
not
they're
just
actual
the same
brothers.
actor.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's not like Parent Trap Lindsay Lohan,
Yeah.
where she just videoed herself twice. It actually was two twin
Yep.
male actors
Yep.
who portrayed Erryk and Arryk.
All right, so this one.
Shame on their parents for naming them that.
This one
George R.R. Martin.
is entitled Rhaenyra the Cruel, and it was directed by Claire Kilner. You should know that person by now because this is her 4th episode that she has directed. She started with episode 104, King of the Narrow Sea, 105, We Light the Way, and 109, The Green Council. It was written by Sarah Hess, who isn't necessarily the co-showrunner, but is kind of acting like it now that Miguel Sapochnik has left. It feels like she's kind of the second in charge, if you will, right? She was, like when Ron Moore was show running Outlander, it was Ira Stephen Bear who was like number 2. That's what I think Sarah Hess is becoming for House of the Dragon. She has written episode 106, The Princess and the Queen, and episode 109, The Green Council. So it's kind of a reunion for Claire Kilner and Sarah Hess for 202 because they worked together on 109. Flames, Marvin. How many flames are you giving this episode?
Giving it 4.7.
Okay,
so I've
4.7.
gone down.
Yes.
Gone down 1, but it's still not bad, especially for a beginning of a season. And the episode 2 was still a much higher second episode than a lot of seasons of Game of Thrones would be for me. So I still really enjoyed it.
Okay. I'm going to give this one a 4.6. I think I'm at the same where I was for the premiere. I enjoyed it. I think there was something lost there with Daemon and Rhaenyra. I feel like
Trust,
Well, yeah, yes.
respect.
D, all of the above. But no, I think that just in terms of that interaction, I feel like we probably should have teased that out a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
I wish we got more out of it. And also, yes, again, this is a reaction episode to the premiere, and I get it. Premiere ends on a very, very serious note. But there's no levity at all in this episode. There's nothing to like relieve that tension at all. And yes, I understand.
I
Like,
disagree.
oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then
And
we'll.
it will be my great.
All right. Good. Awesome. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. All right, Marvin. You're GBG. You're good. You're bad. And you're great.
My good is all the relationships, all the bedtime, all the hangout time, all the cuddles, the weird, the wild, the sweet, you name it. I'm here for all the relationship moments
Okay.
that we had in this episode. My bad, Aemon at the brothel. First off,
Okay. Yep.
okay,
Man's got needs.
no, he needs a little meat on his bones.
Right? I thought that he was a little bit more built.
Agreed.
I thought it felt like he was a bit bigger.
That looked like the dead piece of Voldemort that they find at the train
yes,
station
you-
after Harry dies.
You're a
Spoiler.
wizard, Harry.
You
But
totally
that's what
just
it was.
stole that out
It
of
was
my
like,
mouth. Yeah.
which makes sense because it's the dying piece of Voldemort's soul. And you're like,
Sure.
yeah, that makes sense. That's honestly what Aemon looked like.
Little baby Voldemort.
Avada Kedavra, okay? But instead, he's just nuzzled into the bosom of this lady, and it was just really awkward and weird, and
Yeah.
all the things were going on. But that was one of the other relationships that we got to see. And
But
then
you
my
did, you did point out one cool thing though, Mary. His eye was blinking.
yes.
And we wondered how they achieved that look and how they made
because he
it.
doesn't have his eye patch on.
Right.
And yeah, if you kind of pause it, we even zoomed in because that's how weird I am. Yeah, they definitely have some magical eye situation going on. It was pretty neat. And then my great was the conversation between Jace and his cousin Bela,
Okay.
talking about his dad, aka her uncle, and then his real dad,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Strong, and talking about fishing and all these different fun things. And I just thought that was a moment of levity. Granted, she was shooting a crossbow and preparing for battle and talking about all their dead dads, his dead dads. But I don't know. To me, it was a sweet moment.
Okay.
But that's his wife, right? His soon-to-be wife? Bela?
Who?
Jace's-
I don't know. I've never read the book, so I don't know.
I thought they were betrothed when they were kids.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yep.
Basically, if it's incest, it's in for this show. But I think they're betrothed.
They put the in
I think
incest.
they are. I honestly, because it's been a time jump, I don't know. But nonetheless, the cousin time, it was my favorite part.
I'm sure there's a nerd out there that's watching right now that can clear that up for us if that's the case. All right, my
find
good. My good is Ramin Djawadi. His score, it stood out all episode. I feel like the score in House of the Dragon has kind of taken a bit of a step back, or at least it's like in the shadow of Game of Thrones, because so much has carried over that like it still has the same language, which is great. I think that's something that is really special about this world. We're so familiar with it. But it feels like House of the Dragon doesn't have any standout moments, especially in season 1. There's a couple in there, like Power of Prophecy. That's a great song because it's different, but it still has the same DNA. However, the first bit of scoring in this episode, when everyone's kind of freaking out and they're putting them all into everybody, they're gathering them all up, trying to figure out who did what. And they're carrying the bloody sheets out. The scoring was incredible. It actually gave it a feel unlike what I think House of the Dragon has done yet. It reminded me of the song that he wrote when Cersei had everybody gathered up into the temple and she blew the whole thing up with wildfire. It's called Light of the Seven. Go back and listen to Light of the Seven. It sounds fairly similar, but this one stood out for me really well. All right, my bad. I'm going to do what you love, Mary. I got a tie.
Oh my goodness.
I got a tie. All right, so the first one is Miss Arya, the White Worm.
Yes.
When she is with Rhaenyra, Rhaenyra says, "What are you?" And they have this wide shot of Miss Arya, and she she puts her hands out and she goes, "A prisoner." It's so bad.
Oh.
It's so awkward.
Okay.
It's like they didn't know what to do. It's like she didn't know what to do with her hands
Okay.
when she was acting. What are you? I'm a prisoner. Like, it's just so.
She had strong feelings.
It's like, it's like an 8th grade play. That moment.
Oh wow.
That's what it felt like to me.
I didn't pick up on that at all. So
So
you feel that way.
So then, but my other bad is when the show goes to Hugh and Alan and Alan's new brother Adam.
That was a good.
No, I'm sorry, my bad. But the other bad.
Oh, okay, good. Because I'm like Alan and Aaron.
Yeah.
They snooze fest.
Yeah, the momentum of the show, the pace of the show just comes screeching to a halt.
Who are these little people? Okay, I'm all done with them. Get out of here.
Obviously, there's more to come. I have I'll save that for my theory of the week. But I have a feeling of what's coming with Adam and Alan, and my sense is something more obviously is going to happen with Hugh. So we need to spend time with them. It feels like the show is kind of winking at you, like, okay, pay attention to these people.
Okay.
It also even feels like the show is winking at you with the guy that sees all the rat catchers and he takes the apple out of the bag. Like, I feel like there's more coming with him as well. But yeah, that was my real bad. It's just, and I guess it wouldn't have been so bad if they kind of split it up a little bit. But because we went from all of these major things happening and then to Alan and then Hugh, like right one after the other, it just deflated the whole episode for a good 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got back to business. But for that 5 to 10 minutes or so, screeching halt. All right, my great. Man, I really like Alicent. I really, really, really like Alicent.
I don't anymore.
I love that she kind of reminds me a little bit, if you squint at it, she kind of reminds me of Queen Elizabeth in The Crown, where she's probably not really a good mother, but she will do what she needs to do for her kids, if you know what I mean. Like you should be comforting your son at this moment.
Yeah.
But instead, you went out and you tried to get it in with Ser Criston.
Are you being sarcastic about all this?
No, I'm not being sarcastic. Like,
You think that she did the better thing?
No. She should be.
Oh, okay.
She
All
should
right.
be taking care of her son, but instead she went and tried to
But
get it in.
this is your great?
Yes, because it's actually something that's happening, right?
Okay.
I like that she's making poor decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I like that instead of like comforting Helaena, she like does for a second, and then she's like, by the way, I just want to talk about what you saw between Ser Criston and I. Like, and Helena's like, yeah, no, whatever, it's fine. But her mind is not in the right place right now, and the decisions that she's making are informed by that. And I like how that works for that character.
Okay.
And that's why it's my great.
That's a choice.
It is. It is a choice.
I don't even want to say I love that for you because that's a choice, Blake.
Well,
Surprised you're not wearing green for her.
well, we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
We're gonna get to that. Okay. You ready? Oh, let's declare, Mary, Team Green or Team Black?
This week I am fully Team Black. I have switched because Alicent was what made me want to do green last week. I had faith and hope in her, and she has lost all faith and hope from me. I think
Sure.
she's a terrible mom.
Yeah,
Rhaenyra
not
gives
great.
her kids hugs when they're crying, and Alicent just
Not
goes
great,
away
Bob.
and fixes her own needs. I'm done with you, Alicent. You're dead to me. I don't care that you lit candles. You're not even a good hugger. Your kid has to go get hugs at a brothel. you're a mess. You're a mess.
Yeah.
Okay? So
Yeah.
I am Team Black. I don't like Daemon, but everyone else in Team Black did a pretty good job this week. Everyone was nice, cuddling,
Yes.
bonding,
Yes. You see,
saying I didn't do anything wrong. So I'm here for Team Black this week.
all right. I am officially Team Black. I'm officially Team Black,
Okay.
but I'm teetering a little bit. Like if there was a percentage, it's like 59 black, 51 black, 49
That's
green.
not teetering, Blake. That's out half. Teetering is
Yeah, I'm teetering. Like it's like I'm right in the middle. Like I'm right at the apex, and I'm like, okay, one human breath one way or one human breath another way.
Oh, okay.
I could go one way or the other.
Sounds like wow. I am shocked. And this is because of Alicent?
Yeah, but also Daemon
Okay.
and I applauded Rhaenyra for taking her time and for not making the wrong move when she was like super angry. But I also kind of see where Daemon's coming from here, where it's like, no, we have a war to run. You can't be just sending off these, you can't be sending off these letters and just hoping, wishing, praying that everything's going to be okay.
I think
We
she
got
can.
things to do.
Yeah, it's called like hugs. Playing with dragon toys.
Yes.
Checking in on my other babies that we haven't acknowledged yet this season.
I kind of get Damon's point, and that's why I'm teetering on green. I'm teetering
Ugh.
because like Daemon did some bad stuff,
Yes, he did.
but I see where he's coming from. In not in what he did with Blood and Cheese, but just I see out elsewhere. I see where he's coming from. And then like I don't know. It's just interesting. It's just interesting.
Good for you.
I love that for you. Love
I
that.
I don't. I told you I wouldn't even dignify that.
All right, so can we just come out and say it? Ser Criston is the worst.
He really is.
He is the worst.
Oh my gosh, from being this hunky knight in shining armor in season 1 to just being the worst. He is so creepy, has so many issues. He's the reason the baby got killed. Okay?
Right.
It's your fault.
Should have been there.
Should have been knowing what was going on. And instead, then he's just mad and he goes to Erryk. You dirty. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm dirty. I'm trying to eat, sir.
Yeah.
Go wash your cloak. You know what? While you're at it.
Stands for our purity.
Oh, my God. Buddy.
Who are you to be talking about purity?
I'm so
Bro.
uncomfortable. And like I said, how are you even going to pin that hand badge on your metal chest plate? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Does he get a new outfit this week?
Oh, that's a great... No, I don't think... Well...
You can't... They don't have magnets. He's not like a refrigerator. You know?
Yeah, well, maybe he could drill a hole, like...
But now
he
you
could
have
have a
weakness
smith.
in your armor.
That's true, yeah. Maybe...
Maybe they'll paint it. Never comes off. But what an unstable person to have as the hand of the king.
Yeah, well, here's another thing that we have to kind of question, too. Larys Strong, I feel like, he's into some weird stuff. I'm not going to yuck somebody's yum, okay? He's into weird stuff. That's okay.
I'm going to yuck it.
But I feel like he would probably be a better hand than Ser Criston freaking Cole.
Oh, yes.
What are we doing?
I mean, yes, there would be foot statues everywhere all over the castle. But aside from that, I'm not saying I like the guy. He weirds me out.
Yep. Total weirdo.
But I do agree he would be a better hand to the king than cranky, power-wielding psychopath over here.
Just on a real life note.
And now, hand to the king, and he's having relations with the Queen Dowager.
Oh, man.
So awkward.
Wait, so can he be the hand of the king and the commander of the king's
guard?
like the King's Guard
I don't
at the
know.
same time?
Right now he is.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like moving forward, can he? Like I don't know if he can.
I mean, the king gets to do whatever the king wants.
That's true. That's
But
a
maybe
fair
he
point.
doesn't have enough time. Maybe, there are some other responsibilities. I have no idea. And now Erryk's dead. So
Right.
who are you going to promote?
Well, like that's the worst thing too, right? Like he knowingly sent Erryk off to hit Arryk
Arryk.
off to his death.
Arryk.
Knowingly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he did it obviously because he feels guilty, number one. But also, number two, maybe to take some of the pressure off of himself. Maybe to take some of the pressure off of, like, hey, where were you? Where were you in all of this? Like, if he goes and sends Arryk off, and if he succeeds, great. If he doesn't, now everyone's talking about Arryk and not him.
Agreed.
See what I'm saying?
Yes, but I also don't think he's smart enough. I just don't think that he, this isn't like a Littlefinger plan of I'm going to line up all these different possibilities.
Chaos is a ladder.
Yes. I just think he was strolling along, got mad, decided to get madder, and took out his frustrations on Erryk to set him up for failure. And then, yes, he gets to be the scapegoat and
Sure.
distract everybody, but I don't think Criston is smart enough that he walked over and said, I'm going to get people off my back.
Sure. Whitney here on YouTube as we're live, she says previous commanders served as both the commander of the Kingsguard and the Hand of the King, according to the lore
Awesome.
that Gurm set forth.
Nice.
I think what I really like about Ser Criston Cole is that he's so awful. He is like legitimately the worst. But the way that they set him up at the beginning of the show was that he was going to be the good guy. He was going to be the guy. Like, remember, he defeated
Yes.
Daemon at the tournament. He was going to be the person that we can all look up to.
He was going to be the Hercules.
And he is just awful. And here's another thing. He's so bad. Like, he's such an awful character that in a little bit of a real life moment here, people have been going on to the actor, Fabian Frankel. They went on to his Instagram and was like, you're awful. I hate you. You're the worst. You don't deserve to be the commander of the Kingsguard, whatever.
Wow.
It's like
They need to vent somewhere.
yeah, it's like some wiring has been crisscrossed for some
Wow.
people.
People need to
And it got
calm down.
it got so bad that he took his Instagram profile off.
Yeah.
He was just like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I would as well.
Like there have been wackadoos, but what I like about it is that there have been some actors or actresses that have portrayed their character so well that people like take the hate of the character and kind of superimpose it on the actor or the actress.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of my favorite examples, well, not favorite, but a really good example is of Anna Gunn when she played when she played Skylar White in Breaking Bad.
Okay.
She was so awful as Skylar White. Like her character was so bad that people just totally ran train on Anna Gunn for it. It's similar to that.
Man, people need to get a grip a little bit on what is reality
Right.
and what is not.
I know.
But
But that's why that's why he's good though.
it shows you exactly. It shows you how much these people are able to make viewers love them or hate them.
Right.
And it is going to be very interesting to see how this character that we as the viewership hate, what he does, because this is just episode 2.
Right.
And we dislike him this much.
And that again, and I just want to reiterate, I think that's what makes him kind of awesome
Mm-hmm.
because he's just such an awful person
Yeah.
that it works and it makes sense. One other thing I wanted to talk about, Mary, is when Massaria is walking down to the boat. Once she's been freed, she sees Arryk. She sees Arryk coming up, and she's like, "Whoa, wait a second! I thought he was up there. Like, wait, that doesn't seem right." And it shows her be like, "Hey, one moment, hold on," and then nothing. It feels like to me there was a deleted scene or there was a deleted moment between her saying one moment and then Sir Erryk bursting into the room to save Rhaenyra.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like the editing was a little off and I know that we can all kind of gather like what she did, but it felt different. I don't know.
But I also took it that we don't know if she did anything. I took it that because Erryk is walking around the castle. Arryk walks in and he sees Erryk walk the other way.
Yes.
So we could think that Mysaria trudges up the hill. Oh, gosh, good luck. It's exhausting. Trudges up, tries to get in. Mind you, she was a prisoner, so nobody's just going to, like, let her right on into the castle.
Right.
So we can think maybe she did somehow get a message sent to Erryk, and that is why Erryk goes and runs into Rhaenyra's room.
Right.
Or we can take it that she didn't. Maybe she tried to give a message, or maybe she just ended up going on the boat and thinking, wow, that's weird. I saw that guy twice. And Erryk feels and senses his twin and understands kind of what's going on.
Yeah, well, you know, you had that moment when he kind of stops.
Yes.
And, like, looks over his shoulder a little bit.
So I honestly took it that Mysaria doesn't tell Erryk, that Erryk senses and knows his brother is there.
Sure.
That if he feels something is off.
Got the tinglies.
And that Mysaria is there to remind us again. Oh yeah, there is already two of them. Like she was just there to kind of remind us of what happened in episode 1. On the flip side, I don't necessarily know if there would be a deleted scene. I would think it of more maybe in the next episode.
Yeah.
She's the reason Rhaenyra is alive.
Sure.
And she finds out and she says, I did tell Erryk.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Erryk get off the boat. I came in and told Erryk, and Rhaenyra says, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, who run the world? Girls do a little high five, like handshake thing, kind of like in the Parent Trap. And she says, never mind. I don't want you going a boat. I appreciate you. Stay here. So that's how I'm thinking, like maybe the Mysaria thing would make sense. But if we find out about it later.
Yeah. Okay. I'll buy that. I'll co-sign on that. How did you buy the fight? Speaking of that, how did you buy the fight between the two brothers? Did it hit you in all the feels where I think they intended it to hit you, or did you not feel the way that I think the show wanted you, the way that they wanted you to feel?
I felt a lot. I will tell you, I felt a lot in this fight because the actors who are brothers,
right? Yeah,
had to portray hurting each other mortally. I was too busy and too distracted trying to figure out who is who.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
Because I wanted to know who struck the fatal blow and who took their own life. And I think Erryk wins and takes his own life in front of Rhaenyra and is sorry because both of them are conflicted. Both of them have sworn allegiance to the royal family. And so during the fight, I couldn't tell who was who. But then I thought, how were either of them going to live? Now you're going to worry that it's
one's
the wrong
the other.
one.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, the last one falls on the blade. And I thought it was Erryk, the actor for Erryk. But once again, they're twins, so you can't tell. But in my mind, that would make a great story.
That would.
He's so mortified with what's happened and how they pledged their lives to this royal family that both of them are now in the wrong and against their vow. And now he's hurt his brother. And wouldn't that be beautiful if Erryk says, I'm sorry, Your Grace, and takes his own life?
Erryk. No, Erryk. Yeah, Erryk.
A.
Yeah. No.
A, like Alvin. I'll just call him Alvin, like Alvin and the Chipmunks. I'm saying that the one that Criston Cole sent.
Yeah.
I would think
that's Erryk.
No.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
No.
Oh, no, it's Erryk. You're right. It's Erryk. Sorry. Freaking Gurm with his names.
The green Erryk.
Yeah, green Erryk.
The green Erryk. I took it as the green Erryk.
Yes.
Actually is the one that takes his own life. You would think it was black Erryk.
Yes.
Because he's like, I'm sorry, my grace.
Yeah, he says, Your Grace, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now,
but I took it as green Erryk lived and took his life. And I think that is so cool.
So I really liked this scene. I didn't get the feels, but I liked the mechanics of it. I thought the directing was fantastic. And I thought it was fantastic specifically because you couldn't tell who was who. Right? You weren't there was no tell. There was nothing, right? They had similar injuries, they had like similar fighting styles.
Some of our friends joining in live, Ferris says, y'all saying Arryk just sounds like you're still saying Erryk in your New York and your New England accents. And then she also said that the inside the episode said both of them had the same exact injuries during the fight, so you couldn't tell which was which.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So I liked the direction of it. And then not knowing who actually won the fight. Mary, I love your take that it was Green Arryk that won the fight, saw what he did to his brother, looked at Rhaenyra and said, "Your grace," and still says "Your Grace," because technically, I guess she could be considered Your Grace.
Yeah.
I could see how he wouldn't say it, right? But he does. And he realizes the folly of it all and decides, okay, I'm taking my life. I'm not going to live anyway. It doesn't even matter. The way that I took it, Mary, was that it was Team Black Arryk who won the fight and says, and he says, you're the one who, you're the one who split us, and then when he takes his life with the shame of killing his brother, regardless of Your Grace, the Queen, regardless of all of that, he couldn't deal with killing his brother. I also think that the show did a really smart choice.
From what I'm reading on Google,
Okay,
and the book and everything online, it was Black Arryk who
Okay.
says, "I'm sorry, Your Grace." In my mind,
Headcanon.
it's Green Arryk.
I kind of like your take, Mary. If I had to write it one way, it would be that. If I had to write it,
Like, why not?
it
They're both dead. What's it gonna be?
yeah, sure,
It's not like Kristen's gonna come after him. Shame on you.
right.
I'm already dead.
Your
Your
robe's
cloak's dirty.
So I like the way that you have written it in your
Thanks.
headcanon.
I do too.
I think that's really good. But I think the show does a really smart choice, Mary, in not scoring the scene at all. Just allowing it, allowing the sounds, allowing the fight to stand out, even allowing Rhaenyra and her nervousness, and what she's dealing with, and trying to escape around the room and seeing other doors that are locked, and and then desperately calling for other knights. I kind of like this. I kind of like that a lot. I think it was a smart choice. How about you?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. That a girl.
Who's the other knight that comes into Laris? No,
No.
not Laris. Sir
Otto? No,
no.
not Otto.
Look at us. We're just
We're just gonna
gosh,
start
I know
naming
his
all
name.
Team Green people.
Harold?
No. I'm gonna look. Lauren.
I don't think so. The bald guy. The bald guy
Yeah, the
comes
bald
in
guy.
and he's like, "Queen," and she's like,
Yeah.
"I'm still sticking on my bed.
Yep.
I'm gonna hold your hand."
Yep.
Yeah, that was
What
awkward.
the heck was his name?
I don't know.
That's gonna bother me.
It's okay.
Nerds, if you're out there, please let us know. People are probably screaming at their at their smart device right now, being like, "It's this."
Listen, my brain hurts from Erryk, okay?
Right, I
can't
know.
remember their names right now.
But I think the show did really well with that fight scene as it was. I will say that I didn't have the feels because you just didn't get a chance to know either of them too much at all,
Mm-hmm.
right? It wasn't quite like, the Hound and Brienne
Mountain.
or the Hound and the Mountain, where you had some investment, So that's why I was like, okay, I was more in the direction of it.
We didn't love them yet.
Yeah, well, you didn't get a
that's-
chance to love them at all.
Yeah, and I think that we're meant to love them, or we're meant to be like, "Oh my God, brother versus brother." But once again, I was just so busy trying to figure out who was who,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't love them.
You know who I did feel bad for, oddly enough, and this is also kind of why I'm teetering green, is Aegon. I
Yeah.
kind of did feel bad for him.
Yeah, he's
Because
a terrible person.
he's not Joffrey, and he's not the Mad King. He's just a kid that's way overwhelmed, getting really bad advice from some people.
Was
and-
unloved by his dad.
Yeah, doesn't know how to be the guy that he's supposed to be. One of my things is, as a dad, I have a son. It's my job to teach him how to be a man,
Mhm.
right? It's my job to teach him the things that you got to know, right? Like I've always said that the two most important things are this. You only flip a steak once, and the Yankees suck. That's it. That is the foundation upon which you base your
Sorry,
manhood.
Yankees fans.
If you don't start there, you're not going to get raised right, okay? But Aegon never had any of that, right? He's a Yankees fan, and I feel bad for him. I'm sorry for him that he's a Yankees fan. And when he's sitting there sobbing over his child, he's not a horrible person. He's a little misguided. He's misjudged things. But I know you've had that moment, Mary, and I know that I've had that moment where you're just sitting on your bed or in your chair and you're just crying because you're just overwhelmed.
I mean, this is the scene that made me say, okay, no more green. I'm Team Black. Because Alicent doesn't give him his hug that he needs.
Yeah.
And he has done some terrible things. He has done some terrible things in season 1. But you're right. As he's being portrayed here in season 2, we're seeing him that if nothing else, we need to know that he is a caring father, that he does care about his son and trying to give his son a better experience than he had.
There's also something, I think, to it, and it pulls at my heartstrings, obviously, because I have major daddy issues. You know, coming from a family that, of course, my family was not royalty, right? But, you know, my family was well off, and we had a plan and a vision, and that plan, of course, did not go the way that it was meant to go. But I think there's something to Aegon looking at all this like, I'm supposed to be the guy here. These kind of things aren't supposed to happen to me. Like, yes, my dad was the king. I'm now the king. He didn't teach me nothing, but whatever, so what? I'm going to move forward, and this is my realm. And now this happens. I kind of empathize with that, where it's like, you know, you grow up thinking that these things are yours. You grow up thinking that, you know, I can bend the realm to my will. And you know, as a kid, you have your father at your back to kind of help make that happen, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
But then there's this moment, I think, of realization for someone like Aegon, or even for myself, someone who's from this kind of standing, where you're like, oh, no. Like, yeah, it was almost an illusion. It's almost like, yes, those things could happen, but it wasn't because of me. And even when I'm here and when I'm doing the things that I need to do, it's like, you know, it's not working out.
Yeah.
What is it?
The dog. I don't know what she's chewing, but I hear her cracking on something.
Okay, I'll go get it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, just carry
Sorry, friends. One of the things that I found very interesting, could you just put her upstairs? One of the things that I found very interesting, too, of course, is that this is just after Otto is saying to him, you think you were your dad's choice? You weren't. Like, laughing at him. And it just breaks my heart to know not only has he lost his son, but then also he's losing the idea that he thought that his dad thought highly of him or wanted him to have it. And it's like all of the truths that he knows in his life are gone. You know, it's pretty wild. So I was just saying how he also had just been told that your dad didn't want you to be king.
I know.
You really think that's what your dad wanted?
Oh, that's brutal.
What?
Think about that. So Ashley here on Facebook says, why do you think Alicent walked away? What was her thought process? Marvin, I know that you would never do that to one of our children. But as a mother, I would love to know your thoughts. Like, what in the world? Like, going from, actually, you know, on our monitor here, you see Alicent and her daughter, Helaena.
And she did a bad job there, too, protecting her daughter.
Well,
I'm just saying.
she tried to support her the best that she could. But, like, okay, just give her the benefit of the doubt. She tried to do the best that she could here.
I don't believe that.
But then to turn around later on for Aegon and just walk away
Yeah.
instead of like consoling him. What is there? For what reason at all could there be for her to make that choice?
I don't think she's ever consoled her kids. I mean, we see Aemon, who's off at the brothel, being consoled. I don't think she did a good job for Helaena. I think she had to do what she had to do because her dad told her this is what your job is right now. And she says just as much to Helaena. This is our job. She says it in a nice way, but this is our job. I don't think she knows how. I don't think that she was ever taken care of well, so she doesn't know how to care for somebody. And also, this is the king, so... And he's been a little erratic. So maybe she's afraid if I do go in and ask him, does he want a little hug? Does he need a little ice cream and, a movie night or
He
something?
needs some coffee fudge,
he
man.
might freak out on me. He's very emotional.
Well,
and
he just broke his dad's.
Oh my gosh, his dad's dollhouse.
Yeah, like legitimately smashed it.
Your dad spent his entire life building that dollhouse of the whole
Of Valeria.
Yeah, the whole world essentially, and he just smashed it.
Just smashed it with a big broomstick.
Yeah, so I think that some of it was she felt very awkward. She doesn't know how to take care of her kids in that way. She wasn't taken care of, and also just to kind of save her own hide. Walked in here. He didn't ask for me, so I'm just gonna back away slowly. That Homer Simpson
Yeah,
gif,
yeah. Going right back into the bushes.
Yes, exactly.
Fair
and
enough.
Then she goes and she gets her experience.
Is there any room for interpretation for any goodness at all in this, where it's like, I need to give him space to like, not because I'm in danger, but because I'm his mother and I know what he probably needs.
No. I don't think
no.
so. I do not.
Nope.
I did not take it that way. I took it as I don't want to do this. I don't feel comfortable doing this. I don't know how to do this. And I'm just going to go and take care of me.
Yeah.
And let him be him.
Sure. And again, I have to reiterate the fact that Alicent is my great in this episode because of that decision and because of what she, the pageantry, if you will, of the funeral and how she knows that that's what needs to happen. But there's also this great thing that she does too when she's in the tub and she kind of submerges herself. Once again, we're in this idea that maybe if she tries hard enough, all of these sins, all of these bad things that are happening, she'll be wiped clean of them all. But as we all know, nope, that's not going to work. But I like the fact that they're at least accounting for human emotions with her, and they're accounting for an acknowledgement that things are not the way that they seem, or not the way that they should be, at least. Is there any room for her after not helping Aegon? Is there any room for you to forgive Alicent? Or be like, you know what? That was not a great choice, but she's not all that half bad. Like, or is she just dead to you now?
She's not dead to me. I don't think she knew how to do it. I don't think she was raised being cared for. I don't think she's ever done it as a mother. So it's kind of hard, but I don't like her. So, I mean, could I ever feel bad for her? Yeah, I could feel bad for her sometimes.
Okay.
But right now, I'm not saying she's dead to me, but I'm not a fan of her, and I'm Team Rhaenyra right now because she hugs her kids. Did
Aegon make a bad choice killing all the rat catchers, or would you have done the same thing?
That's a great question. I mean, how many were there? Like 10?
There was a fairly good amount.
12?
I'm going to say at least 12.
Okay. I might have done it.
Yeah, I definitely would have done it. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know which one of you did it, so you're all out.
Yeah.
It's not like I got to, I'm sure that I could find another person with a resume of,
I mean,
of a
that
rat
would be
catcher.
a long thing to capture, say it's 12, to capture all 12 of these people and then put them on trial and be like, where were you last night at this time? And where are your witnesses?
Yeah.
It would just be too much.
You know what? Just go on Indeed.
No matter.
Just put up a post saying we need some rat catchers.
And to be honest, this is now known, okay, being not real, this is now known as a weakness. That these rat catchers know these different entrances, know
Sure.
these little alleyways, know these secret places, and maybe we shouldn't have them know the ins and outs of this castle the way they do. And someone on Team Black knew to find a rat catcher. So who's to
Right.
say you kill Cheese
Yep.
that they don't go and find another rat catcher?
Exactly.
So I think his timing was bad. I think Otto was right.
Sure.
I mean, you could have done it in some different way, like, oh no, they all died from rat poison.
Right.
Shucks, or a giant rat from the rodent of unusual size
Yes.
from The Princess Bride ate them all. I don't think I would have
rodent
hung
of
them for everyone to
unusual
see.
size.
That's what I would have just done. Been like, there was a monster rat.
Oh man.
Or I would have just had them all go missing.
Yeah. Just.
I would not have
suddenly-
hung them outside, but I would have taken all of the rat catchers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel terrible saying that, but it's true.
That's true. You know who I
I
felt
mean, I
bad
wouldn't do
for?
it now.
The one person, the one character in all of this that didn't deserve any of it is the dog.
No, the dog was like, sucks to suck. That's what you get for kicking me.
Yeah, that's true.
He's gonna go find.
Good point.
He's gonna go find like a Valerian Annie, and she'll take care of him right away. Sandy. All the orphans will clean it, put bows on it. It'll be
Oh,
great.
man.
That dog's fine. That dog is fine. It's not gonna get kicked anymore.
Oh man.
He was probably laughing.
Yeah, you suck. Sucks to suck, bro.
You know what sucks is you're too high. I can't kick you.
Oh man. Okay, so we've spent a lot of time with Team Black. I will say that there's one other thing that happens with Aemond that I liked, where he does say that he felt bad about what happened with
Yes.
Luke, and he lost his temper and that he regrets. And the person that he's with says, when princes like you lose their temper, it affects people like me and the lowborn. But it does show you that there is a little bit of humanity in there. But at the same time, there's also this moment when he says, I'm actually kind of happy that all this happened because it shows you that Daemon thinks that I'm a real threat, that I am a real deal person here.
Yep.
And that kind of excites me. This, you would think, especially with Jaehaerys in his little death, that this would be a sobering moment. But to me, this almost feels like, Mary, an empowering moment
Agreed.
for Aemond. Yes, we do have a juxtaposition of him being baby Voldemort, all curled up, but it does feel like almost like he's been almost cast off because of what happened with his dragon and killing Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not as
He's been in permanent timeout.
He's in the doghouse a little bit of doghouse. But this feels like, okay, I'm in the doghouse, but I don't care because look what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
They think of me as the real deal. Do you think that's what's happening with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of mixed feelings, but it's, he's having a therapy session. He's on the couch and the therapist is telling him, and how does that make you feel? Oh, well, now that I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, I feel guilty, but also this is pretty cool that they were trying to do this.
Sure,
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's really what it is. You think about it, when you have a therapy session, you go through all the feelings. It's not just, I am sad and I have regret.
Yep.
No, there's, by the way, this also happened this week and that part made me feel good.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think what I found very interesting in that conversation was when the woman said to him, when princes have these situations go on,
Mhm.
it's the small folk like me who get hurt. And then we get to hang out with the small folk a little bit.
Sure.
We get to hang out with Hugh the blacksmith,
Yep.
who has a sick daughter. His wife's mad. She had to walk all over town to get a chicken 3 times that price just for the pot. Right?
I had to skip 3 Stop and Shops and go to that
Oh
Shaw's.
my gosh. The one where they They make you pay for the carriages.
Oh my God, they got to put the quarter in there
I do love
and
all
the 10 cents per bag. Get out of here. We don't go to that Shaw's.
And then we hang out with the people who I don't care at all about. I mean, I care about Hugh a little bit, oddly enough. I care more about Hugh than I do for the sailor guys.
Why?
You know, the sailor guys, they came off acting. I felt like
You know
I was
what?
watching a play.
You are
Felt like I
right.
was watching a Shakespearean play in the park. Hi, brother. Oh, he
You know
owes
what?
you. He owes you. Ha, ha, ha. Whereas with Hugh, I believed Hugh. I believed Hugh cares about that girl and wants to eat some chicken soup.
Sure.
I didn't care for his wife. She also could have been acting. But
Well,
I actually think
listen,
he was
if you
good.
got to go to that Shaw's, you're going to be angry.
All right.
How
Got
could
some
you not
pebbles
be?
in your shoe. But when it was the two brothers, Aaron and Alan, I believe are their names. Thanks a lot, George.
Alan and Adam.
Whatever. The two Fisher guys in blue that we're obviously supposed to care about because they have names, and one of them's now been shown twice, and he saved the sea snake. Okay, great.
Yeah. And then they showed the brother again with the dragon flying around.
Yeah.
And in a very odd scene. I got a hot take.
He was searching for sea glass, maybe. He wants to make some bracelets for his brother. Oh, you don't look handsome. I just don't care about them.
Yeah.
And that part came off acting.
You know what, Mary? I 100% co-sign on this take. That is a great take.
And you know what sucks, Blake? Is they're going to mean something. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in this show. They wouldn't be wasting a couple of minutes on these guys.
It's going to be a thing.
My goodness gracious, I hope they become better actors magically. I hope something happens. I do not care about war on the water. I don't care about ships. I don't care about any of this.
I can't say that you're wrong. I can't.
They bore me. They take me out of the episode.
Yeah.
I'm all set.
Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. I kind of agree with you on that one.
Good.
All right, so we spent a lot of time with Team Green. Let's spend a little time with Team Black here. It's kind of hard to not spend time with Team Green because there's a lot going on the green side. The black side, however, it's all about Daemon and Rhaenyra for me.
Okay.
Oh, no, well, what do you got?
Well, I wanted to say one more thing about Aemon when he was in the brothel.
Oh, yeah.
But before that, he goes back, or maybe it's after. I forget. I don't know. Timeline is weird for me. But he's back at the castle, and he sees the secret passageway that rat and cheese, or not rat and cheese, cheese and blood came through, and he sees
Meat and cheese.
It was before the brothel,
Santa.
because that's how he realized they were coming for him.
Yes.
And he looks to the map that he and Criston Cole had, and he even finds the coin underneath, and he realizes
Right.
someone came through this door, actually scooped off all the money from the makeshift map that we had.
Right.
And I just thought that was very interesting that he was able to deduce that and figure that out, whereas obviously nobody else had figured out how people kind of got in.
Yeah. Excellent. Really like that. One other thing, too, that I really liked for Team Green, because I know we have to get to Team Black. We're already we're already at 56 minutes. The last thing I want to say about Team Green was...
I have one more thing, though, I need to talk about.
Oh, okay,
Team
all right.
Green.
That's fair. I really loved the process of seeing the sheets be carried off that were bloodied, and then the crib get disassembled. And as it's getting disassembled, you see Ser Criston Cole in the back, in the doorway where he should have been, where he should have been looking out for beef and cheese.
Yes.
Man, I really, really like. Again, this is when the show is showing you instead of telling you. Oh, give it to me more.
When we were in the parade, for lack of a better word, of the dead boy's body.
Funeral procession, they're usually
Thank
called.
you. You found the better word. Thank you.
It's a parade.
I'm like, I've never marched in one of these things. Anyway. Anyway. When I call it that because it actually made me laugh. Remember how I had to stop it, rewind it like 3 times because of the one guy in the horse who kept He kept puffing his cheeks when Alicent and Helaena are coming out and they stop because the carriage comes with the boy's body. The guy who's driving the horse right before the body, he keeps puffing his cheeks like he's a trombone player in
Yeah.
a cartoon.
I wonder what he was doing.
I don't know. And he must have not realized the camera was on him. But like, buddy, this is your one job. You are an extra and you are distracting me. When it got stuck, I was so worried that that boy's body was going to fall off, or at least the head.
Oh, because it was not well sewed. I'll say that.
Oh my gosh.
Not well sewed.
I was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Why? Why did you do that to theirs? Why couldn't they have made they did it to make us feel uncomfortable? Because
Sure.
they could have easily like hurt someone else's carriage in the funeral
Yep.
parade. They could have hurt Alicent's carriage.
Yep.
But they do that one, making us think it's gonna fall out.
Right.
But during this, of course, we have Helena's anxiety issues as the crowds are clamoring for her. But we have these shots of like flowers or wheat, and she's just staring off at it before all the chaos.
Yeah.
And she kind of zones out and sees it falling. And I loved how long they sat with that,
Yeah.
because then we get that same thing with Rhaenyra
Yeah. Oh, yes.
looking at dust.
Yes.
And it takes so long they actually focus on both of her eyes.
Yeah,
And I
right.
thought that was a really neat thing that both of these mothers who are in mourning, because Rhaenyra is still in mourning, you're
Yep.
in mourning for life when you lose a child, they're seeing this segment in time kind of in slow motion.
Yeah,
what
awesome.
did you think about that?
I loved both of those scenes, and I'm Mary. I'm so happy that you brought them up. Just it, and you know, I've talked a lot about when a show feels different, when a show makes itself its own reality, and that's when you know you're watching a good show, because it does something different, and it sets a stage for you that you can actually, where you feel like you can almost reach out and touch it. Like right now, I am plowing through the show The Bear. I can't get enough of it because it is so unique in its own environment, in its own world. Mary, you have to watch it with me. I will gladly rewatch all of them with you. But it's just so unique, and the camera work is so unique. It is so awesome. And when I look at other shows, one of the big things that I've always talked about with Outlander is like, it doesn't have its own, since they left Scotland, it doesn't have that. It just feels like a blend of everything else. Almost like how Rings of Power felt. It felt like a blend of everything else instead of it's being its own thing. And when you see that close-up shot of Rhaenyra's eyes, I was like, yes, do your own thing. Allow that to be, watch dust literally settle.
Yeah.
Like, awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. Love that. So good. So good. So good. All right. So here we are. We got to talk Team Black for a little bit. Are you invested at all in the Rhaenyra and Daemon conflict?
No.
Why not?
I don't like Daemon.
Yeah, is that what it is?
That's all it is.
It's a-
I don't really like people on this show. It's just a variable layer of like who I dislike the least. And right now, Rhaenyra is who Jace is who I dislike the least.
Yes, Jace is sweet.
Oh my god.
Like, come on.
And he got to go see snow.
Yes.
Jace is my top
Yeah.
right now. Yeah. But
Um,
that's where it comes down to. And I mean, Rhaenyra's still married to Daemon. I don't see.
I wonder for how much longer, though.
Yeah, but that means one of them has to die. I don't think they get divorced in
Oh, that's
House
true.
of the Dragon.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
So, I mean, maybe they pretend he dies. I don't know. Does her old husband get found
No, no way. He's out.
selling pineapple juice?
In
Does
coconuts?
parents get
Yeah.
mad? That would put a big divide between Rhaenyra and her aunt, though,
Oh,
because her
that-
aunt is hardcore on her side.
Yes, that'd
That-
be a problem.
So, yeah, I could care less about Rhaenyra and Daemon. You made a bad choice.
Yeah.
Okay? This is what you're dealt with now,
But
girlfriend.
they finally had
That's what
to.
happens when you marry your uncle.
Yeah, don't marry the uncle. That's just a bad choice.
Seriously.
We call that in the world a PD, a poor decision.
Yes. And I love how she knows. Everyone knows he did it.
Well, his little smirk. I mean,
He's just he's avoiding eye contact at the
maybe
table.
she won't see me.
It's such a
She's
kid
not
move.
a T-Rex,
No.
bro.
Alan Grant.
Oh man. Yeah,
I love when she said, I did enjoy their conversation, which I know you said you wish was drawn out more.
Yes.
I thought it was the right amount. And I love how she was talking about, I've never trusted you. And he gets to go back and forth about, oh, you think my dad or your dad put you in
Yeah.
because you really deserved it. Like, it was his way to make sure that I couldn't get better results than he did. I really enjoyed their conversation, but I don't care about them. They're magic on screen together.
Yes.
But I think he's a poor choice for her. And right now she's higher up the food chain for me.
Sure.
So I want her to be away from him for a little longer.
Here's my second reference to The Crown in this episode. Matt Smith, in The Crown, plays a fairly similar character in being
A cold husband.
And being looked over and not feeling like he's given all of the attention that he deserves. I think he's quite good at it. I'd have to say he's quite good at this kind of role. I will also say, Mary, that there are some that we talked about, shows having their own visual language, their own style. There's just something very cool about seeing Matt Smith get out there on Caraxes and like right on top, armor on, the whole thing, and he's just gonna go off and.
So it wasn't his dragon that flew over the
No.
Ocean Man.
No,
Whose dragon was that?
I don't know.
Was that Bela's dragon?
It might have been, yeah.
Because
Moon
she's going
Dancer.
off with Moon Dancer, so
Yeah.
I assume Moon Dancer would probably be that color, and they're flying to King's Landing to keep an eye on things. That's what
Yeah.
Bela's doing for Rhaenyra.
Correct.
So maybe it was Moon Dancer.
Could have
I need
been.
to I need to Google that.
Could have been. I don't know. But the show still does allow for these big moments. And let's be honest. The cool thing about this show is that we get to look at all the dragons. I remember when we saw the loot train battle in season 6 of Game of Thrones, when you finally saw what Drogon could do and just tear apart the Lannister army. I remember thinking, holy crap. I can't believe how powerful dragons are. And you thought that you could never top this. But just having these moments, like I said, of Daemon out on Caraxes, just coming out of that tunnel, hearing all of the dragon sounds and so cool. And then another thing of note too, when Rhaenyra is speaking to what?
Oh.
What?
Google is saying it's Sea Smoke, Laenor Valerian's dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Pretend dead one.
Huh, interesting.
He's flying around.
Well, Sea Smoke is another. I don't think he has a rider anymore.
No,
Yeah,
but I'm saying he, meaning Sea Smoke.
Yeah.
Sea Smoke could be the one. Oh no!
Interesting.
Just a little lost soul.
Just flying around, man, making decisions.
Because he can't have another rider because Laenor's alive.
Yeah, interesting.
What if they find out that Laenor's not alive because no one else can mount him? Can mount Sea Smoke?
Well, I got a theory.
Okay,
we're gonna
sorry.
That. But
I'm just getting back to
when
it.
Rhaenyra is speaking to Massaria, I only noticed this because I was watching it with my earbuds in.
Mm-hmm.
As they're talking, all you can hear is the intimidating sounds of the dragons, like maneuvering and like breathing in and out and everything. I
Mhm.
thought that was a really cool sound design moment.
Agreed.
All right. So that is that, Marvin. You got anything else you want to talk about?
I have a couple other
okay.
things.
What do you got?
I took extensive notes on this episode. Just for anyone else wondering, I did not see Eyebrow Maid. We were talking about Eyebrow Maid from episode 1.
Yes.
And we were talking about how Larys was able to shift things around and put his own people. Now, of course, Alicent bathes herself again. And we do see a maid quickly walk by, but I don't know if it was Eyebrow Maid.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know. But it potentially could have been the same one. And then when Aemon is at the brothel
Mm-hmm.
and we see everyone dancing,
Yeah.
and those girls were pumped. They were like, I'm I'm in a brothel in House of the Dragon. They were so excited. And we go and we see this waitress go in. She pours
Milk.
warm milk
Ugh.
into the cup that she's presenting into Aemon's room.
Yeah.
So as he's being cuddled by this like motherly figure
Yeah.
who's ready to, have some time with him, he's like, no, I want to cuddle
I
in the
need my
fetal
warm
position
milk."
with warm milk. I mean, we had some like milk issues in Game of Thrones
Sure.
with an older boy.
Yep.
I think that's what we're alluding to, guys. Why does it need to? It 100% was meant to be warm milk. It
yeah.
was. It could have been a different. Nope,
No,
that was
it
gross.
was warm
That
milk.
was so gross. I did love how we had Rhaenyra and Corlys have that
Yeah.
cute little like intimate cuddle scenes. So we're
Yes.
able to see the Black family. They're doing okay.
Yes.
They're doing all right. And yeah. That's what I gotta say. So those are the extra notes
All
that
right,
I had.
cool. All right, you ready for the?
I just have WTF warm milk.
WTF warm
Yeah,
milk.
because come on, I don't want that again.
All right, you ready for the small council feedback?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's do it.
His Grace has many cares. He entrusts some small matters to us that we might lighten the load.
We are the lords of small matters here.
All right, these ones come from jointhenerdclan.com. Remember, if you want to get your comments read on the podcast, you will gain priority by going to jointhenerdclan.com and putting your comments there on the thread that we provide. This one comes from Rhonda. She says Rhaenyra called Daemon on his motives. Absolutely spot on. What a devastating blow to find out your husband has just destroyed any chance of being seen as the rightful queen by letting his power, lust, consume him. Do you think he really did destroy Mary? Any chance of her being seen as the rightful queen?
No.
I kind of agree with you. I think, yeah, it kind of sucks in the moment, but I think it would be okay. Here's a hot take for you, just a small one. I'm not sure if Daemon and Rhaenyra come back together at all.
Are seen back together on screen or come back together like, I forgive you, let's
Yeah,
cuddle
that.
and drink some more milk?
Yeah,
Okay.
that. I don't yet drink some warm milk. Yeah, I don't think that they are a thing anymore. I think that's it. I
The
think we're done.
intimacy
Yeah.
is done.
And I
I
don't
think they need to see each other again, if nothing else in battle.
yeah, I wonder what happens with him. If Damon now finally just decides I'm going off on my own.
He's gonna be like the Kennedy guy running for president right now.
Yeah,
That
Bobby
everyone's
Kennedy
like Team
Jr..
Black, Team Green. He's like, I'm the independent.
Yeah.
Choose me. I've got the family name. You know my last name.
Vote for me, guys.
That's who he is.
He's Bobby Kennedy Jr.
And a bunch of people are like, this guy's crazy. And
This
then
guy's
some
bananas.
people, are like, I like bananas. I like bananas. I like that family. I'll get his yard sign.
Oh my God, Mary.
You're welcome.
Oh man.
But I think he and
that was good. Oh my
Aegon,
God, I'm crying.
Aemon are
That
going to
was
have a face-off
awesome.
this season. You're
I'm
welcome.
sorry. That was so good.
It's like it comes out of left field. You're used to two parties. Team Black, Team Green. HBO halfway through the season is going to be like, Team Yellow. With a big grinning smile because all of his signs are like that. Anyway, yes. So I think, yeah, I think we'll see them together. I don't know if we'll be intimate unless Rhaenyra does it to, like, kill him or something.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if she'll go that far.
I don't put anything past these
That's
people.
true. Good point. Good point. All right,
Warm
this one
milk.
comes from Melissa. Now I can think of it's
Bobby
just
Kennedy?
Bobby Kennedy drinking warm milk.
You're welcome.
Bobby Kennedy Jr. I will not besmirch the great name of Bobby Kennedy Sr., okay? All right, this one comes from Melissa. She says, my good, Rhaenyra calling Daemon out not for only the death of Jaehaerys, but for the grudge he still holds against her for her father choosing her to inherit the Iron Throne. I loved how she stood up to him. My bad. Everything having to do with Ser Criston Cole, he is the worst. He wouldn't let poor Arryk finish eating his meal.
Yes, he was
and
so
then-
hungry. And
right.
the chicken is so expensive nowadays.
And then basically sent him to his death by forcing him to go to the Dragonstone alone
on
to
an
kill
empty
Rhaenyra.
stomach. No wonder he died.
I know, right? He didn't have the fuel, the protein.
God,
Come
it's like
on,
3
man.
blocks away.
And now this guy is the hand of the king. 3 times the price. The whole scene that precedes the Erryk and Arryk fight, as well as the fight itself, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was sad to see it end so tragically.
I want someone to do an edit of the Erryk walking through the castle with like doo 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 doo. Like
the-
I don't know, like the
like the
Pink
Pink
Panther
Panther?
theme, or even something even like goofier.
Yeah. Like Benny Hill
Or,
music.
Don't be suspicious. Don't
Yeah.
be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be funny.
That would.
That would be funny. I have a prediction. I don't think Daemon is going to Harrenhal. Not sure where he's going, but I think he will eventually make his way to the Red Keep. Any chance he would change sides?
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't think he's changing sides.
I don't think so.
But if there's something to be had, I wouldn't put it past him. I don't know. After they finally had it out,
He's Alicent's type.
I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no.
He might go join later and open a pineapple juice
Yeah,
shack.
right. All right, this one comes from Chelsea. Says, fantastic episode, 5 flames. Good. The mirroring between Helaena and Rhaenyra, having the similar shots to show if you strip all the chaos around them. At the center of this war are 2 mothers grieving the loss of their children. It was beautifully shot with the slow motion. The bad. Ser Criston Cole.
Yes.
His projection of his guilt and shame get the man in therapy. All of the co-pays.
Agreed.
The great was Tom Glyn Carney and Thea Sabin, who play Helaena and Aegon, respectively. They brought their A game this season. Even though their characters are very different, you genuinely feel for both of them and want to root for the both of them. Thea's ability to say so much without saying anything, and Tom's ability to steal the scene no matter which emotion he's portraying, is incredible. My eyes are glued to them when they are on screen. They are amazing to watch. I really liked that one scene shared between them, Mary, as they're
On the
both
stairs.
walking on the stairs. There's there's a recognition, but also this block between them. Really good stuff. This one comes from RR Studio. She says, I would remind you, when the princes lose their temper, it is often others who suffer. Emphasis here on princes, especially hot-headed, petulant ones, not the princesses and queens who must suffer them and try to clean up the mess. The good. Eve Best as Rhaenys, even just sitting at the council table with a pointed mind what you say. She's a badass and probably the most formidable woman in Westeros. I think she would draw a sword if it came to confrontation, not cower in a corner. The bad. The petulant boys with their violent tantrums snap bad decisions in yet another Scooby-Doo plot for revenge, this time hatched by Criston Cole, resulting in tragedy as twin brothers kill one another. The great. The women stepping into their power, Rhaenyra kicking Daemon to the curb, choosing Baela, another badass with a crossbow who also is wise to Daemon, to do careful reconnaissance for her and for forgiving the White Worm when she hears her story. They have both been manipulated by Daemon and have had their reputations destroyed. On Team Green, Alicent also finally takes the reins. She tells her father what he is going to do. He's going to go to not Old Town, but to go to.
He's gonna ride till they can't no more.
No.
Is he gonna take a horse
Yeah.
to the road?
He's gonna go see the Tyrells. Does not comfort her hysterical son because she knows he's out of control and summons a smug-looking Cole from her bed to smack him upside the head before she lets him touch her. The bloody tapestry makes sense to me now as the plot lines get woven, and it's women who do the weaving in Westeros. 4.7 flames as this one dragged a bit for me, but otherwise very solid. This one comes from Laura. She says, and I thought Droughtlander was bad. Hallelujah, Mary and Blake are back. I started listening to you during the last few episodes of 7A of Outlander, quickly fell in love with your show, and obviously started binging all of the past Outlander cast episodes. Once I got through those, I moved on to all your other podcasts, and then I ran out of content. It was torture waiting for you to post those new episodes, I'm not going to lie. But now we're back. Anywho, 4.7 flames, the good. Otto's realization that he's made his bed, now he'll have to burn in it. Bad. Aemon naked in the fetal position.
Agreed.
That's just...
We're just
that's
called the Voldemort position, but yes.
She says, I'm not body shaming. This was just a very uncomfortable and awkward scene revolving around mommy issues and sexual trauma and emotional abuse that was filmed to make the viewer as uncomfortable as possible. Well, mission accomplished. I'll never forget this moment.
Agreed.
The great. The confrontation between Rhaenyra and Daemon, their chemistry, especially when it's that hatred and jealousy of and disillusion. Oh my God. Chef's kiss TV magic. I can't wait to see them interact again. Thank you for everything you do. All right, we got some voicemail too. You ready?
Oh, hold on. Yes.
All right, hold on. I will wait for you.
Thank you. Sorry, Lumos is hanging out. All right.
Okay, here we go. Oh, it's gonna make me do that thing again. Sorry, hold on.
Hi, Mary and Blake. This is Carol from your neighboring Connecticut.
Hey, Carol.
I'm a long time.
Wait,
Sorry,
Blake.
Carol. I'm sorry.
He's not you. He's in Connecticut.
in
and
Connecticut.
Carol knows this, but we love you, Carol.
Carol, you're great. Your state sucks. It's okay. It's fine.
No, it doesn't, Carol.
Who was the one who said that?
95 in your state does suck.
It really sucks.
But there are a lot of lovely things in Connecticut.
Okay, here we go.
Listener of many of your podcasts and a first-time caller.
All right.
I am also a reader of all the Julia Quinn books, a lot of the Julia Quinn books, including all the Bridgerton books. And I have watched the entire series 3. So my opinions, of course, are going to be a little bit influenced by that, but I promise no spoilers.
Is she talking about Bridgerton?
I think she's talking about Bridgerton.
Okay. We'll come back to you, Carol.
All right, hold on. Let's see.
Hi, Mary and Blake. It's Carol again, continuing with my bad. The side plots are bothering me because
I just want to make sure.
we have great characters, but their stories are not really related.
I bet
to
you
the
she's
main
talking about
story.
Bridgerton, Blake.
So we remember who they are in future seasons. Irritated is Lady Danbury.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's talking about Bridgerton. Okay, sorry, that's my fault.
Carol,
My
we'll come
friends.
back to you.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Hi, Mary and Blake. This is Lala
Hi,
from
Lala.
Pennsylvania. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yay.
And I wanted to
sorry,
let
I gotta play
y'all
it.
know, I actually found you
press
guys
pause.
through Bridgerton.
Press pause.
What? I got pause. What?
Because Lala just signed up for our text reminders.
All right.
Yeah, so thank you, Lala.
All right, how do people sign up for the text reminders?
People sign up for the text reminders. Okay, guys, you're going to need to get your phone or a piece of paper or something, okay? You're going to text the word dragon to the phone number 401 281 5551. So once again, you text just the word dragon to 401 281 5551. It's me. Okay? It's me.
I'm the
Who
problem.
no, I'm saying like I text you. So I will add you to our dragon texting list.
And that
Just like how Lala has.
the texting list gets you what?
I text you and I say, guess what? We're going to be doing a new podcast episode. Or
Oh, we're going
guess-
live in
yeah.
X amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. All right, awesome. Here we go.
I found y'all's Bridgerton podcast, and then I made my way over to your House of the Dragon
Thank
All
you.
right.
podcast. And I also wanted to let you know, I am one of the rare ones that started watching House of the Dragon before Game of Thrones.
Whoa.
Okay. And for episode 2 of season 2, I would say that it was a bit of a letdown compared to the first episode. I guess it was because this was an episode more about grief than anything else. Like,
Sure.
I understand there not being a whole lot of action in this episode, of course, except for the twins fighting, which was, that was awful.
It was.
It was terrible seeing them fight it out. And then Erryk just landing on his sword, not being able to bear the guilt of killing his own twin brother. Oh my gosh, it was terrible.
Yep.
But so far, I still love the show, and I look
Yeah.
forward to it and watching along with you all. Thank you so much for what you do and the content you put out there. Blake's laughs bring nothing but joy into my life, and Mary's unfiltered wit just keeps me going. I adore your show so much. Keep it up. Thanks guys.
Lala.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lala. I really appreciate that. And my laughs, yes, they are known to be quite
There's
amazing.
something.
There's something. Yes, Mary. I will get the next one here.
Hi, Mary and Blake. This is Ashley from Massachusetts.
Hey, Ashley.
All right, Ashley. You know what we got to play now.
Your cousin from Boston.
All right. We're starting off right. We're starting it off
This
good.
isn't starting, Blake. We're halfway through the voicemail.
Wait,
if not ending it right.
But whatevs. You know what I mean. You get the picture.
Yes.
Here we go.
I'm calling in about House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 2.
All right.
I would give it a 4.6 flames. After I first finished it, I didn't think I liked it, but thinking about it, I do think I liked it a lot more, and it was really long, so I want to rewatch it again. But my good was the king destroying Viserys' city that he had built,
Which I called the dollhouse.
after kind of when he was grieving his son, because it kind of symbolized them tearing down everything that Viserys had previously built.
Yes.
My bad was Criston Cole sending the twin basically to die because he was being very hypocritical, and that was sad. And then my great was how everything is kind of starting to come to a head. But I do have a prediction that I'm wondering if Alicent will be the one that ends up killing Criston Cole, because that'd be really ironic because she saved his life, and I feel like she might start to realize that he's a liability. Okay, thanks, bye.
Oh, I like this take.
Yeah.
This is good. I like this take. I wonder if he does something like he does something for the king, or maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I like the idea that Alicent is the one that has to kill Ser Criston Cole.
I dig it.
Maybe, and it's probably not a coincidence that they have these two, doing some rumpy pumpy, because maybe she kills him in bed. Oh, that would be great stuff. That would be great stuff. All right, that is the final voicemail. Of course, if you want to send us a voicemail for episode 3 or any of the further episodes, you can always do that by going to maryandblake.com, hitting the contact button, and then you'll see the voicemail page right there. And that is that, Marvin. We have a theory that we got a hot take. You ready?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Hot takes. I don't have my sound. Where is my sound? Can't find it. Oh, well. I will. Here it is. Anyway, here's a hot take.
Okay.
I know that Alan and Adam are going to be more. My sense, there was a moment where they were talking. There was a conversation about side families in this episode, and Sir Corlys was kind of shifty about it. My guess is that Corlys has stepped out, and these are his two sons.
And one of them can ride the dragon.
Yeah.
Can ride Sea Smoke.
That's why we saw Sea Smoke flying around.
Even though I don't think Sea Smoke should be able to take a new rider because Lanner's still alive.
I have a sense. I get the sense that this is what's coming.
Okay.
And that's why they're spending so much time with these two, and that's why.
Why don't I?
There's some tension.
Okay.
That's why there's some tension.
All right, I dig it.
Because
they've got some Corlys.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my guess. All right, you ready to close this bad boy out?
I think that something's going to happen with the small
yes.
folk because the lady says it, and we are hanging out with all these small folk.
Yes.
What happens with the small folk?
I don't know.
Maybe the small folk.
Maybe they have an uprising.
Riot, yeah.
Ooh, I like it. That's a good take, too.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
How dare you take our chicken?
My wife had to go to the Shaws. Pay the quarter.
That's it.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you you all so incredibly much. Don't forget, if you haven't yet written us a review in Apple Podcasts, whether you watch us on YouTube, Facebook, listen to us through a different podcast app, I'm telling you, one of the best things that you can do for Blake and I mean, you just hung out with us for an hour and a half at least,
Yes.
is to head to Apple Podcasts and leave us a written review. Doing the stars is nice, but honestly, taking a moment to write a sentence or two as a written review goes such a long way. It helps other people find our podcast. So if you've enjoyed it this much, probably some other people in this wonderful world will enjoy it as well. But they need to have those written reviews. It helps with the algorithm. It helps people understand why you like this podcast and what makes it different. So if you could do that as a favor to us, we would greatly appreciate it. Right, Blake?
And just as a reminder, go to jointhenerdclan.com if you want to have your comments read on the podcast, or if you want to get priority for comments, or if you just want to hang out and get other some of our other great content, like a third reference to the Crown, Mary. Keep Calm and Crown On, our podcast for the Crown, as well as our knee-jerk reactions, and just a great community overall. Go to jointhenerdclan.com. And, of course, don't forget about our Facebook group, the Mary and Blake Facebook group. It's very simple. Just when you go in there, just type in Mary and Blake, and it shows up. Oh, and that's that.
That is that, my friends. Well, on that note, my name is Mary.
My name is Blake.
Jack.